What's going on, guys? My name is Chris Weidman, and I'm originally from Long Island, New York, Baldwin, and I have now recently moved to Fort Mill, South Carolina. So on April 24th, I was fighting in the UFC at UFC 261 against Uriah Hall, and the first move of the fight was a jab to a leg kick. And I threw everything I possibly could into the first kick, my first calf kick I've ever thrown in the actual fight. I've thrown them in sparring, but decided to throw it into the fight. And as I threw that kick, I knew it landed super hard by by how concussive it was, the sound, the feeling, everything. It was just a super hard kick. I threw everything into it. And I remember looking at Uriah Hall's eyes and thinking, he's got a poker face on right now because I know he's got to be hurting. And I just knew the fight wasn't going to be lasting too much longer if I'm landing kicks like that. And then, funny enough, I put my leg back. Something just feels off. I look down, and my leg is like rubber. And then I face plant. And it was like I was in a dream. And I just couldn't believe, like, was that my leg? There's no way that was my leg I just seen that looked like that. Like, what the hell is happening? And it was so surreal, it felt like a nightmare. And I just went super calm. And I just tried to calm myself down because I knew this was going to be super painful. And one of the first things I remember happening was Herb Dean, the referee, started yelling, he's out, he's unconscious. And I look up to him and I'm like, I'm not unconscious. I'm just trying to stay calm. And I put my head back down, and from that point on was probably one of the worst moments of my life. Not just moments, but many moments. From going from the octagon into the ambulance, into the hospital, waiting for surgery, getting surgery, post-surgery. It's been a very tough time for me. You know, the reason why I decided to do all these videos and document everything is because I just know it. I just wanted to. Well, the main reason is because as soon as this happened, the amount of love, the outpouring of love and prayers that I got has been unbelievable. Something I've never seen in my life from some of the biggest fights I've had in my life, winning world championships and losing world championships, from people feeling bad for me or people being happy for me. I've never had this type of love and support. And because of that, I said to myself that, you know, I really want to keep the people in the loop as much as possible because they really do care about me. So I really want to share from the highest of highs during this recovery process to the lowest of lows. You know, just kind of all the moments that have been going through physically and mentally and emotionally, spiritually. And just to keep you guys in the loop as much as possible during this tough time. And I just know that there's a greater good to come out of this because it doesn't make any sense to me on how this happened. You know, there's been 3 leg breaks in the history of the UFC, and now I'm a part of 2 of them. It just doesn't make sense that this happened, and I just feel like God has a plan. I feel like there's a silver lining. And I'm going to make sure I find it. But it's not going to be smooth. It's not going to come quick. I'm going to have a lot of patience. And but I want you to come on the journey with me. As soon as I realized that my leg was broken in half, you know, I don't think I went into shock. I went into a place in my mind that I felt like was best, which was, 1, stay calm. So I relaxed myself the best I could at that time by staying, you know, quiet and putting my head down, praying, and then also just finding, like, immediately, my defense mechanism, which I think is a good one, is to find a reason why this could happen in a positive way. You know, I had to find a positive way of dealing with this. You know, there has to be some type of silver lining. So I started searching in my head, and it really hasn't been easy. But this is the reason why I want to document all this, is to be able to be transparent with how I find the silver lining in a very tough situation, because I think it's such a thing that could cross over to anybody in any line of work or in any walk of life, where you're going through a tough time and it feels so negative, and it's hard to find that silver lining. I want to be a good example to you and show you the way on how to do it. And it really comes with patience, keeping a positive mindset, and good things will come. So I know there's a lot of people out there that are going through tough times, and you feel empty inside, and you don't feel like there's much room for improvement, and there's not really any need or reason to be positive. But I'm telling you right now, there always is. You have to be positive. And great things could come from terrible situations. So getting ready for my fight against Uriah Hall for UFC 261 on April 24th, I have never been in better shape in my life. I had so much new things going on in my life that I've never experienced. I moved from Long Island, New York, where I was born and raised, and never left. I moved to Fort Mill, South Carolina, a place where I really had no expectations for training. It was really for family. We moved here. And it ended up becoming such a blessing in disguise with my training. I started training at a gym called Gym O in Gastonia, where they had multiple UFC fighters around my weight. They had up-and-coming wrestlers who were just getting to the sport, who were super hungry, that were around my weight. They had a great coach, Jeff Jimmo, who was there, ready to help me out in any way he could. I started strength and conditioning workouts at a place called Velocity with a guy named Jed, who works with all these Panthers. And I just, I was in such a good spot this whole time, from really September when I moved out here till the fight in April. I have been consistent with working out for the first time since before my Lyoto Machida fight, which was my second title defense back in 2012. That was the last time that I was working like I was working for this fight.